Welcome back to Becoming More Me, the podcast for big, busy-hearted humans who are ready to stop living in survival mode and start creating success that actually feels good. I'm your host, Theresa Levine. I am an EFT master practitioner, hypnotherapist, and author of the best-selling book, Becoming More Me. I'm also a mom of 4 boys with an ADHD brain that loves to move fast. And today, I'm joined by someone whose brain might be moving just as fast as mine, and who, fun fact, shares the exact same birthday as I have. And my guest today is Ky Westcott. He's a content creator, mental health advocate, senior paid media strategist, and the human behind the Vibe with Ky podcast. He's also has an audience of over 2 million people across TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Ky has been named a 2023 JCI USA 10 Outstanding Young Americans recipient, one of FeedSpot's top 10 ADHD influencers, and was invited to the 2024 White House Creator Summit. But what I love most about him is how he can take ADHD, depression, anxiety, introversion, and executive dysfunction and turn it into content that makes us all love him so much and wonder how he secretly lives in our heads. We're going to talk today about his journey, his mental health and wellness practices, and yes, I'm also going to pick his brain about organic social media growth, content matching, and how he has built this, I feel so seen corner of the internet, because that really resonates with where I'm headed in my journey also right now. So if you're ready to learn how to grow online without burning out your nervous system, you're in the right place. It all starts now. Hey, Ky, welcome to Becoming More Me. I'm so glad that we could get together for this interview today.
I'm so happy to be here. You were a guest on my show, and now I'm a guest on yours. And I love how this works. I love
I
that
do
we
too.
support each other. It's great.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I'd love to
Yeah.
start. I feel like some of my audience already knows you, and some of them are just meeting you for the first time. So if you could just share a little bit about who you are as a human, even outside of work and that kind of stuff, but just what you like. I know you like cheese and other things. What makes Ky?
I always say to people, such a normal human, down to earth person. And sometimes people don't believe that because I have such a gigantic personality online where I'm just a big caricature. But I am just a normal person that likes normal things. I like roller coasters. I like hanging out with my friends. I love eating cheese. I love making content. I love discovering new things and traveling and all of that kind of stuff. And I take those experiences and I try to bring mental health into it, and explain how I feel about certain situations and certain things. And that way, in turn, people will watch my content and be like, oh, yeah, wait, no, I know what that's like. I know what that feels like. And in a way, hopefully help people validate their own mental health journey. So that's me. I'm
Yeah.
a nerd. I'm a big nerd, just a
Well,
big old nerd.
you're spot on with creating content that does that, and I'm definitely excited to dig more into that in a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. And you do come across as somebody that's very down to earth and just kind of a normal guy. I gotta say, in 5 years of doing podcast interviews, I've never felt more at home or welcome
Oh,
on a show than on yours.
oh, I
And I
appreciate
think that
that.
just says a lot about who you are and how you show up and your just genuine curiosity and interest in other human beings. So just very, very felt and received on my end, at least.
I appreciate
And
that. Thank you.
and it may be this is gonna feel weird to share because I was doing some research before this, and I
Yeah.
guess I guess you're such a big name that you show up on celebrity birthdays is one of the first things
I
that showed
saw
up.
that. Yes.
So, but
Yes.
but the crazy thing is we have the same birthday.
I wonder if the birthday is correct. When's your birthday?
Oh, I wonder if it is. My birthday's May 26th.
Mine is also May 26th. We are twins?
Isn't that crazy? I mean, I've got
No
9 years
way.
on you, but there's some definite Gemini stuff going on. Are you? Do
Wow.
you know your human design? Are you also like a Manny Gen or
I have
no?
no idea.
No
I
idea.
have
Okay.
no idea. None.
No, that's
None.
okay. No, I'm not an expert either, just a dabbler. So, but yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, this is
so
going to be so
cool.
weird to be
That
like,
actually
but it was
explains a
literally
lot.
one of the first searches that came up. I was like, and I wondered if maybe the algorithm knew it was my birthday too, and that's why they gave it to me or what.
It's so weird because I remember this was a while ago. This was years ago where somebody wrote "Happy Birthday" to me, and I was like, it was like September, and I was like, it's not my birthday. And then they're like, oh, on this site it says that your birthday is September, whatever. I'm like, no, but I'm glad to know that celebrity
It was
birthdays, even though
accurate.
I don't consider myself a celebrity at all. But yeah, happy birthday to us
Yes,
soon.
absolutely.
Three,
Very
4 months
cool.
away.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love how you put a humorous twist on things, but I also understand that, it seems like there was a period of time for you not too long ago that was really rough and not very funny or easy to go through. From what I understand, breakup and injury and losing a
Oof.
friend and so many things. So,
Yeah,
all of that combined with ADHD and some depression and some anxiety and all
a
of
little bit
that.
of
So,
everything. Yeah.
what what were some of the first signs to you that like you weren't just having a bad year?
Yeah, yeah. This you're referring back to 2018
How
where
far?
like yeah, those three things happened to me where I was with somebody at this point it was like 2.5 years. I thought that this was going to be the person that I married, and that just ended suddenly. And then I ruptured my Achilles, and
Oh,
one of my closest friends, Ashton, passed away suddenly. And all of those things happened within 30 days. So I was a
wow.
mess. And it was at that point that I had decided to start documenting my recovery, both mentally and physically. Now, one thing I always note here, I wasn't officially diagnosed yet with anything. I like the content that I started to make was just good vibes, like positive energy type of stuff. And it wasn't until like 2023
Okay.
that I actually like got diagnosed. And it was because there was this one point I knew something was wrong because I was laying in bed and I just couldn't get up. I was just down. I just felt like this incredible weight on me. And something just felt off. And like I had been feeling off for a while, but it like felt like it was like this was the climax of it. And my roommate at the time and my girlfriend at the time was like, you need to go like truly talk to somebody. Go talk to a mental health professional. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And so I did, and it was eye-opening for me, so eye-opening, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, that's great. So many people fight that urge to go talk to
Oh yeah.
somebody. And
hmm
what do you think made it easier for you to say yes to that?
I didn't know what else to do. I felt so lost, and like it was like I would say like 2 or 3 days where I was just laying in bed, and the only time I would get up would be to get something to eat or to use the restroom. That's it. And then other times I would just be laying in bed, not even like doom scrolling or watching TV. Like I was just laying there staring at the ceiling for 2, 3 days, which I don't know if you know this or not. Not normal, not supposed to happen. And so
No.
I didn't know what else to do. And so luckily, my girlfriend at the time and my roommate were both people that were well versed in mental health, more so than I, and they gave me some recommendations, and I was like, you know what? Okay, let's do it. And thank God, thank God for them, because the person that you're talking to now is a result of that. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. Wow. And you describe what you have now with the vibe as Kai, with the vibe
hmm
with Kai as something that's like a manual that you never got. And
Yeah.
how you're able to communicate with people.
Yeah.
If you had to sum that manual up into like a couple of key messages that someone who is maybe newly diagnosed with ADHD or even depression, what would be in like the foreword or chapter one?
Your journey is valid, your feelings are valid. This is going to sound so cliche, but I really do mean it when I say you're not alone. Because even though there's so many people that have to deal with ADHD and depression and OCD and anxiety every day, it still is very, very isolating. And it quite often very much feels like we're by ourselves, even though there's so many people around us that have to deal with it as well.
Yeah.
So I always want people to understand that their feelings are valid. You're not going crazy. Like the way you're feeling this way for a reason. It might legitimately be a chemical deficiency or imbalance in your brain. You're not lazy. You're not a bad person. Like there was just something going on in your brain. So the way that you feel is valid, and there is help out there for you.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't think that's cliche at all. It's some messages we just need to hear
Yeah.
over and over
Yes.
again. And sometimes when the right person says it to another person, that's when it lands. And sometimes it
Yeah.
just when somebody else says it.
Yeah.
So, do you still have bouts of depression, or do you feel like that's in a better place at this point?
Teresa, I cured it. I'm all cured now.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's all
Could you
taken
please tell
care
me the
of.
secret?
Yeah, it's okay. There's definitely, I have my good days and my bad days. And it's funny you ask that because there's a lot of times that people will say, like, hi, how do you stay so positive all the time? And I tell them, I don't. Like, what
No.
you see is what I put out there. But what you don't see is what happens when the camera is off. The
Right.
late nights where I'm beating myself up, or after a long day when I'm like, oh, I wish I accomplished this, or blah, blah, blah. All this stuff.
Right.
People don't see that part of it. And so I still like manage it on a daily basis. I'm just way better at managing it now because I always tell people like this stuff you can't cure it. Like it's not going to go away. You just learn how to manage it. That's just my own personal opinion. You just learn how to manage it, and I've learned how to manage it and process things in a healthier way. And so that also means that I'm human and I have my good days and I have my not so good days. And
Yeah.
that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
So when the depression or the anxiety do kind of pipe up for you, what does it look like to still either show up for your job, your audience, or just yourself without having to
Yeah.
pretend that you're okay?
It's hard. It's very, very difficult to still show up sometimes, which is why there's two things that kind of keep me going. Number one, I give myself grace. Like I allow myself to step away if I need to. Like for example, the beginning of this month was so busy for me. I knew that I was going to be overloaded and overstimulated and anxious about a lot of different things going on in my life. So I knew I had to like step away for a moment, and I allowed myself to do that. The other thing that I do that I don't necessarily do, but people do for me, a lot of people validate things for me. Like my cup is never empty. Whenever I put out content or videos, the amount of messages and comments and DMs and emails and stuff that I get from people just saying, "Hey, Kai, I saw your video about this and it helped me understand my son better," or it made me want to go talk to a mental health professional. Like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
it reminds me why I do all of this work. It's so fulfilling to me. So I give myself grace and I let people in to my life and just I live through their gratitude, and my cup is not never empty because I have the best audience in the world.
I can imagine that you do. And you've gotten some pretty cool accolades over the
Yeah.
years that you've been doing all of this. You were named a JCI 10 Outstanding Young American. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
when you got that news, like what went through your head?
Oh my gosh. I thought it was fake, because like there's millions and hundreds of millions of people in the United States, and they are all eligible for this award. I got nominated, and they selected me, and I felt it felt so surreal, especially because the other nine people that were awarded with me that year, I mean, we're talking like military veterans and people that raise money for parents that can't afford to get their children school supplies, like these really cool, like amazing people, and me. And like it was just so surreal. And I try to give myself grace for it. I actually have the award right here. And I'll tell you a
Oh, I'd
funny
love to see
story.
it.
Yeah, so this is the award that they give. You can kind of see it. It's two hands, right?
Oh,
And
beautiful.
it's very heavy. But what's funny about this is that I didn't know that I was getting like a physical award for this.
Okay.
And the ceremony was in Minnesota, and I only packed like an overnight bag because I was only there overnight. And they gave it this gorgeous box, and I couldn't fit the box in my bag. So I wrapped this up in my clothes and I put it in my overnight bag. So when I get to the airport, it goes through security, and all security sees are like two severed hands in my bag. And
Oh my gosh.
obviously, I get stopped. And so they're like, "Sir, what is this?" And so I had to like. It felt like I felt so weird because I try to stay as humble as possible, and I'm like, I was given an award, I was given an award for mental health stuff, and they were just looking at me like, okay, uh,
Okay.
all right. But it was, yeah, getting stopped for having two severed hands in your backpack is not a good look. So shout out to the Minneapolis
That's too funny.
airport TSA.
But they let you through, they let you keep it. That's
They
a good
did.
thing.
They did.
And then
They
and
did.
then what was the feeling that you had with the being invited to the White House Creator Summit?
Oh man, that was cool. Now that I thought was legitimately fake because I got an email
Legitimately
from the
fake.
yeah, because I got an email from the White House and it said, Hello, Kairos Kino Westcott, we'd like to invite you to the White House for the Creator Summit." And I was like, "Okay." And the only reason like I was about to delete it because I get like you probably get the same thing. Like there's some things that you get, you're like, "Okay,
Sure.
like all that kind of stuff." But the only reason I knew it was real is because I looked at the email address and it said like at whitehouse.gov or something like that. And I
Sure.
was like, oh, I think this is legit. And I click on the link that they gave and it was a government website, and I was like, oh my God, wait, hold on a second. And so fill out the form. I said, yeah, I'm interested. And they have to do like a background check to make sure you're not like crazy. And so did a background check, got the official invite, got invited to the White House. They put me up and everything, me and like me, I want to say like 15, 20 other content creators from around the country and got to meet up with people from all over the government, including at the time President Biden. And it was so cool because I got to shake his hand and I got to talk with him and ask him questions. And it was it still doesn't feel real that like I was having a conversation with President Biden. Like how many people can say that they talked to the president? It was so cool. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and yeah, I can't even start on how different it feels to just live in today's times versus those times too, because there's a
Woo!
lot of things that feel
Yeah.
surreal about that
Oh, very
ever
different.
having happened.
And you know what's
So,
funny? That time period that I went, it was right when President Biden had dropped out and Vice President Kamala Harris had taken
yeah,
over. So like the White House was just a frenzy.
I'll
And we were there.
bet.
We're like, "Hi, I make content about mental health." Like it was like I felt so insignificant at that time, but it was fun. It was still very fun.
Did these milestones like shift anything for like how you see your responsibility for your platform, or does it feel more of like
Yeah.
a confirmation that like, oh, this honest kind of down to earth style is really
Mhm.
working?
I think it's a little bit of both. It does shift things because I do understand the weight of having a platform. I understand that I have eyeballs on me wherever I go. And so with that, whether a content creator likes it or not, that comes with a responsibility. And so I try to hold myself accountable to make sure that I put out content that's for the better good overall. So it does shift things a little bit that way, but also it does validate and it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's really cool to have this type of opportunity but it's very fickle. So I always say to myself, this can go away at any moment. So I try not to take it for granted
Sure.
and I just enjoy what I can control and just live in the moment.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of particular vision for the Vibe with Kai or your content creation for the next few months, few years? Anything where you're
Yeah.
like really seeing a particular thing come together that you've been dreaming about and we haven't seen yet?
Yeah. It's so funny answering questions like that because like this time, like 2, 3 years ago, I would have never been like, yeah, okay, this is my plan for content creation. Like, because like I always did it for fun. I have a full-time job, so like I like I, like
That's
I
nuts.
always did this for fun. And now it's at a point, it's like, oh wow, this is a major part of my life. So if I really want to capitalize on this and change my life and the life of the people around me, the people that I care about, my mom, my dad, my friends, I can really capitalize on this and change lives. And so that comes with structure and that comes with a plan. And
Two
so
things that ADHD brains do not have the easiest
I
time with,
know
I'll mention.
it's really hard. It's very, very hard. But what helps is that passion that I have to continue to succeed and grow. And so yeah, there's some plans. Like I wanna right now I'm in the process of delegating because I'm at a point now that I have so
Uh,
much happening that I need to just like give some stuff away for other people to do for
yes.
me. So that's my goal for 2026 is to delegate.
That's a great
That's the
goal
biggest
because
goal. Yeah.
there's plenty of things about your business that can't be delegated, that can only be
Yeah.
done by you in order to have the impact they
Yeah.
do. But there's also so much stuff
There's
that
some administrative
anybody
stuff.
could do it.
Yeah.
Anybody could do
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah, like stuff like editing my podcast, like things like that that usually take up a lot of time. Like I can give that to somebody else to
yes.
do or to maintain my website. Like I can still continue to work because I write all my stuff. I can continue to do that, but somebody else can like actually like post it and format it and like all that stuff for me. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the most common reactions that you get to your content is that like, is somebody like, is he in my head? Like, does he
Yes.
understand me? Like, how does he understand me this much? So
Yeah.
it's like, what are you paying attention to in yourself or your audience that really helps you like nail that level of relatability?
That's a fantastic question. I wish I could say that I pulled it from just like really being very observant, but honestly, it's just like everyday stuff that people can relate to. And so every video that people see out there, it all comes from it's all inspired by something that really happened to me.
Right.
Like it may not have played out that way exactly, right?
Sure.
But
But
like
you're
it's
kind of
inspired by
creating from your
something.
own like lived
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. And so luckily, like a lot of the things that I deal with is something that a lot of people can understand and relate to. And so I try to take those moments and I usually work backwards. I'll find the punchline first and then I'll write everything before that, like leading up to the punchline. Because I won't film a video unless I have that punchline at the end first.
That's really cool. I love thinking about like the process of it. I'm very
Yeah,
much
yeah.
in a season of like I've gotten a lot of foundational things in my business
Hmm.
taken care of, and now it's like I want to create better content. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm really enjoying getting to talk with you today because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just kind of curious how your brain works. Like, are you
Yeah.
looking for patterns and comments and things like in your DMs and in your like on YouTube and places like
Yeah,
that? To
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Because there's a lot of times people will say, oh, like they'll watch a video, they'll be like, oh, also I went through something like this, and then they'll tell their story, and I'm like, oh wait, I've been
Mhm.
through something like that too, and so like I'll find something for that. And sometimes, honestly, the punchline is, it's like it's not even like a joke punchline. It's just more of like acknowledging that what is happening actually does happen and the response is like a neurotypical person being like, what? You know, like when you're
Right.
explaining how a neurodivergent brain works, and it just sounds absurd when you're saying it out loud. And so sometimes the punchline is just a neurodivergent person saying just legitimately what's happening, and the typical person being like, "I'm sorry, what?" And like that's it. That's the punchline, and then people can relate to that because that's how it usually plays out.
When you film those, because you do a lot of like back and forth, where it's like
Yeah,
you versus you kind of a thing.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
form like all of the one side and all of the other side separately, or do you like ping pong back and have a
I ping
conversation
pong
with
it.
yourself?
I ping pong it mainly because like I do write it out beforehand,
Sure.
like a little bit, but sometimes when I'm filming it, I'll realize that the way that I responded to something, like even tone wise,
Hmm.
like that'll affect the answer or the response to whatever it is that I just said. So I try to keep like that. That's why it feels very organic because sometimes I'll change it up as I'm filming it. I'm like, oh, I said that very in a very interesting way, and then like the other person can react in a way that's more in line with how the other person actually said the thing beforehand. So I
Yeah.
definitely ping pong it for sure, and that's if anybody were to just be in my living room as I'm filming it, they would be like, "This guy is so weird. Wait, what?"
I would
Because
so
people
love
don't
to
see the
see that.
bloopers.
That's
People
the
don't see
video
the
I want to
bloopers.
see. I want to see the bloopers reel.
Oh
I'm
man.
curious of like what the setup is. Are there like
Oh
multiple
yeah.
tripods? Is it just one? Are you flipping things back and forth? Like what's the equipment setup? Like I nerd out on that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
find all of that fascinating. But like
Yeah.
do you ever get to a point where like you've created so much content about something where you're like, God, if I make another like cheese video, like I'm just gonna lose it? Or like is there like a topic that you're just so tired of but people keep eating it up so you feel like you have to keep creating it? Have you joined the Becoming More Me community over on School yet? It is one of the fastest growing distraction-free platforms for learning and connection. And it's where the magic's happening for the Becoming More Me community as well. Inside, you will find a high vibe circle of heart-centered, ambitious entrepreneurs and professionals doing deep work to become who they truly feel called to be in life, in business, in love, health, and wealth, and doing it in ways that feel aligned, authentic, and full of pleasure. The community is packed with tons of valuable resources too that you can start using right away, as well as guidance to find the ones that are going to help you so that you don't need to waste time. We're talking tools, trainings, and practices to support your growth. all for free. Plus, you can find info on working with me more deeply, whether it's through one-on-one coaching, small group experiences, or the Becoming More Me with EFT program, as well as information on upcoming workshops and other events. To join, head over to skool.com/discovery. That's skool.com/discovery. Type in my name, Theresa, Lear, Levine, and you will find the Becoming More Me community right there. Click on it to join. I can't wait to welcome you to the community.
That's a good question. Not real. I haven't hit that point like where I'm just like, oh, I have to talk about this again because if I ever get to, if I ever felt that way, I just won't make that kind of content. I won't put out anything out there that I don't genuinely want out there. I do listen to my audience, so I do cater to them a lot. However, I always make sure that I understand that I'm a person too. And when you're a content creator, the minute that you start losing yourself, the minute that you aren't enjoying this anymore, it's like, okay, well, what are you doing it for? And you're going to grow this resentment for making
Yeah.
content because you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for somebody else. And there's no more enjoyment. It becomes a job. And
And
like,
energy
I
is
don't,
everything.
yeah.
People
Oh
are
my
going to pick
God.
up on it, even if the things you're saying are
Yeah.
funny or
Yeah.
whatever else. The
And it
energy is
gets lazy
palpable.
and it gets lazy and it gets repetitive and like you don't want it to hit that point at all.
Yeah, no, I love that you're that true to yourself on the journey. Did you know when you started with, would you start on TikTok? Is that where you started, or what social media platform did you grow the fastest?
Yeah, I grew the fastest on TikTok. Like in 2018, TikTok wasn't a thing yet, so like I was just blogging.
Okay.
But when in 2020, when spoiler alert, the world caught on fire, I was one of those lucky TikTokers that blew up during 2020 and 2021. And it's funny because like I don't consider myself a TikToker now, even though that's my largest audience. I consider myself more of like a Instagrammer and Facebooker because that's my most engaged audience
Yeah.
out of all of the platforms. But at the end of the day, I feel I'm just more of like a content creator because I just utilize so many different platforms and I have my email list and I have my podcast and I have my blog. Like there's so many different things that go into it now. But yeah, 2020 is what really, really started it for me, and it was because of TikTok.
Yeah. Were there any key like turning points that moved you from like, oh, I'm just kind of sharing and posting stuff to like, oh, there's something more here and there's momentum and I'm growing, 500,000, a
Yeah.
million.
Yeah, I think the first time that I knew that I had like a really cool audience was when I think I went like maybe like a week or 2 weeks not posting,
Hmm.
right? Just because I would just have other stuff going on. And I was getting messages being like, I haven't seen a new video in a while. Are you making a new video? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh wait, I think people actually want to see the crazy nerdiness that I put out there. And
Oh,
so I
they
think
missed
that's
me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So like that was the first kind of indicator for me. Um, but then like I guess the next indicator came from when I really just started to enjoy it personally. Like I just enjoyed making content because I felt like I found my voice. I felt like I knew what I wanted to get out there. And at that point is when I was like, oh, there's something here that I can really pursue.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of content creators chase like virality, and it seems like you chase connection.
That's the biggest mistake that I see content creators make. And like whenever a content creator asks me for advice, I always tell them like don't chase a viral video. Like viral videos
Right.
will happen, like it's gonna happen, right? But don't chase that because you'll never be satisfied.
Mm. It's
Make
true.
content that you enjoy. Make content that is geared towards the people that already follow you because virality comes from it being spread amongst a new audience, right? But make content from your social media army because they're going to be the ones that are sharing it and commenting and all that kind of stuff. That's who you're making content for. And so once you do that, you're going to find a consistency within your own audience that you don't have to worry about going viral all the time because you know that you're reaching people that really truly genuine want to connect with you and can understand you. And that's to me, I'd rather be there's a quote from a musical called I can't remember the name of the musical, but there's a song where the lyric says, I'd rather be nine people's favorite thing than 100 people's ninth favorite thing.
Yeah.
And like that's how I pursue my content and my platforms.
Yeah. That's great. I love that. And it doesn't really ever matter who says a quote. When it's truth, it's truth,
Yeah,
right? It doesn't
yeah,
matter who
yes,
said it or where
yes,
they said it.
yes.
I wish I could pinpoint that one for you, but I can't either.
Yeah, it's gonna
Um,
hit me in like an hour, and
yeah,
I'm like,
well,
oh,
just
that's what it
randomly
is.
just burst
Yes,
out and share it when it hits you.
yes. Or it's, there's gonna be somebody watching or listening right now, like screaming the name of the show, and like meanwhile, I'm like, I can't hear you.
When you're in a good rhythm, what does a typical like content creation week or session look like for you? Like in terms of how often do you film and edit and post?
Yeah. I do a thing called content batching,
Yep.
right? So I either film or write everything on Saturday and Sunday. So everything that people see throughout the week, from my blogs to my videos to my podcast, all of that is done on Saturday and Sunday. I might film something, like if it's one of those short back and forths, I might film that during the week, but it's already written. So
Gotcha.
like we're filming this right now on a Tuesday. So everything for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this week is already done. And
Okay.
I get it done and then I schedule it out throughout the week. It's such a part of me now. It's such a system that I have right now that like I know Saturdays and Sundays are my content days.
Hmm.
And so it's a little bit easier for me because I got everything pretty much down to a science and it's not super difficult. It's tedious, but I like again, I enjoy it. I don't have a weekend, so I don't really go out. I do enjoy my Saturdays and Sundays when I get to be really creative. That's when I'm the
Yeah.
most creative.
Because you're an ADHD introvert, right? I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm very selective about who gets my energy for sure.
it's important. Do you have
Yeah.
any particular like tools or softwares right now that you love as far as for filming or editing or captioning or scheduling or tracking or any of that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I use on a daily basis. I try to keep it very simple because I'm
Hmm.
very old school. From an editing standpoint, from the back and forth, I love filming in Instagram, for the back and forth and editing in Instagram. Like I just love that platform for filming because the quality, in my opinion, is a little bit better. And then I'll export that, and then I'll use the captions app to add in the captions that you see at the bottom.
Hmm.
And I'll also do any sort of like audio improvement. So, so there's not any muffles and it's like very clear, things like that. And then I'll schedule it out. So for the short videos, that for podcasts, I use Riverside, which is
Hmm.
great. It's really easy to film and record and to edit in that platform. And then in regards to like scheduling out content, I use Loomly for a lot of
Okay.
that. So that's how I schedule it to my all my platforms. And for my email database, I use Kit,
Okay.
which is great, consistent platform. And I also do a lot of automated messages. So like when people comment on some of my videos, if they comment a certain word, so like let's
Sure.
just say I make a video about body doubling. If somebody comments the word blog, then they'll automatically get a message
Yep.
that will give them more information about body doubling. And so for that, I use a platform called ManyChats,
Yep.
and it's a really cool just automation. So like people can still stay in contact with me even if I'm like sleeping,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's so important once you get to a certain
Yeah,
size because it's like you can't
yeah.
possibly humanly answer everything, but you
It's
can
impossible, and I feel bad because
give
I'm a
people
people
more of what
pleaser.
they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Automation has made such a difference, I think,
Yes.
for
Yes.
content creators and just making
Yes.
it easier and
Hmm.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I want to point out, and because sometimes people mix up the two, there is a difference between automation and AI, right? So like
There is.
AI will like learn from your actions and kind of change its behavior over time. Automation is just like a strict like boom, boom, boom. Like
Yep.
it's never going to deviate from that process. So I
Yep.
always like when sometimes people will get a message from me and it's my automation and they're like, oh, I'm talking to AI. And I'm like, no, you're talking to me. I wrote this message.
Right.
It's just automated. You're not talking to an
Yep.
AI bot. You're talking to me. Just
Right.
it just automatically got sent out.
Yeah, and I think for anybody that values their own time, they can
Yeah.
understand like and value
Yeah.
yours for doing that. Like if you're going to send
Yeah.
everybody the same message pretty much anyway if they're requesting a certain
Yes.
thing, like why
Yeah.
should you have to do it manually? Like
Yeah.
go make
Yeah.
another reel that we all enjoy and
It's
spend with
also
that time.
faster. It's just faster. Like if you want more information about body doubling and you just happen to be at home at 3 o'clock in the morning where like
Yeah.
I'm clearly sleeping
Yeah. Give
and
it me
you like you
now.
don't yeah, just like here you go.
Yeah, with
You
the
know?
attention span of most people out there, they're going to forget who you were, what they
Exactly.
watched, and what they asked for if you send it to them when
Exactly.
you wake up in the morning. So
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
smart on like every front, I think.
Mhm.
Do you have any like non-negotiables or boundaries around like your phone and social media so that your nervous system isn't like on it 24/7?
Notifications are off. All my notifications for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're all off. So like
Mhm.
my phone isn't constantly buzzing.
Yeah.
On my one of the first videos that ever went viral for me on TikTok, like at the time, like I was still like a small content creator. My phone was just like bzz, 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 because I got a notification anytime somebody liked it or commented or followed, and my phone I thought was going to explode. Like it was awful. And ever since then, I just turned off all notifications. So the only time that I'll see a notification is if I log into the app. And I just have to do that. Otherwise, I'll get distracted or it'll just be really annoying.
Yeah. I I have notifications off. I also like just my phone's in do not disturb mode. I would say like 99% of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
You
same.
know, even as a mom of four, like the kids know
Yeah.
they can call me twice and they'll get through.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
otherwise,
Uh-huh.
there's just nobody getting through. So I understand
Hmm.
protecting the energy.
Yes.
Do you have any interesting process for like tracking your ideas? Like do you when do you get your ideas? How do you get them and how do you keep track of them so that they don't like just vanish?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. One, I always carry around a notebook with me, like always. And so, like, people might notice, like, as I'm like, if people are ever watching my podcast, sometimes whenever my guest is talking, as they're talking, sometimes I'll grab my notebook and I'll be writing something down. And I'll do that because something that they said will have triggered like an idea in my brain or something like that, and I don't want to forget it, so I'll just immediately write it down. Also, like the notes app in my phone is just full of just things. Like I might come up with the punchline, and I'm like, I won't need to write out the whole video, but I'm like, okay, this is what I want to talk about, and so like I'll put it in my notes app, and then I'll revisit it when I'm making content later and see if I can come up with something.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
awesome. And then I guess my next question around content
Yeah,
creation has to do with monetization, because I think that's the
yeah,
part that a
yeah,
lot of people overlook or they don't understand, like what this
yeah.
could look like or why it would actually be worth their while to like
Hmm.
push a little bit harder or do a little bit more to create well organically.
Yeah,
Like in whatever detail you're comfortable sharing, like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how does your online presence translate into income streams for you?
It's so I'm at a point now, and people sometimes be like, "Oh, this it happened so fast." Like, no, people need to remember that it took like I started in 2018 and like officially started in like 2020. So it's been like 5, 6 years to build up to where I am now, where on these platforms and I have no problem like throwing numbers out there because like I think it's important for people to know. So like overall each month I'll walk away from social media, or not just social media but just like all of my platforms as a whole, with about $25,000 a month that comes
Great.
through from everything that I do. And again,
And
I have a
when you
full-time
say that,
job.
does
Yeah.
that mean like just the stuff that the platform is paying,
That
or is that
includes the
also other
partnerships.
opportunities?
Yeah, that
Okay,
includes the partnerships. That includes what the platforms give me. That includes my subscription. So I have people subscribe to me on Patreon and
gotcha.
on Facebook. So it combines all of that. And
Cool.
I always tell people, especially content creators, you have to be able. Oh, and I also sell. I wrote books and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
like that includes that. I tell content creators, don't rely on these platforms to give you money.
Mhm.
Like we're lucky that they give us money because they can cut that off at any point.
Yep.
Find your own revenue way to create revenues, whether it's through partnerships, right? That they'll pay you to use your platform, or sell a product, sell an
Mhm.
ebook or something like that, have people subscribe to you. Control your destiny there, because at any point, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they might be paying you well now, but like they could easily just change their mind if they
Yep.
wanted to.
Get those
And
email
then,
addresses.
yeah, absolutely. So it's like, I always say to people, if you want steady, consistent, surefire income, don't rely on your performance on like what the platforms pay you, because
Yeah,
they
the
can go away in a
algorithm.
heartedly. Don't rely on it because technically they don't owe you anything. It's a
Yeah.
privilege to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever
Hmm.
feel like any pressure to stay like on brand emotionally? Like you're expected to be like funny and
Yeah.
validating ADHD
Yeah.
guy, what even like when things are rough is how do you
Yeah.
navigate that?
I
Hey, quick pause to let you in on something you might not know. You know, you can book a totally free, no pressure 15-minute insight call with me. Yep, just you and me, chatting about the real life stuff that's feeling heavy or unclear or stuck in your world right now. Whether that's in your business, your body, your relationships, your energy, all of the above, maybe. We'll explore what's really going on beneath the surface, and I will share a few personalized insights to help you start moving towards the outcomes you truly desire and get out of your own way with clarity, peace, momentum, and abundance. Just go to gamechangingconversation.com and grab a time that works for you. I can't wait to connect with you and hold space for your next breakthrough. All right, let's get back to the episode.
I guess it's less pressure, and I just always remind myself to just be my genuine self, because like I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to cater to somebody that I'm not. So it's just a constant reminder to stay myself and to stay grounded and stay humble and just like every piece of content that I create, it has to pass this one litmus test. Is it funny? Is it educational? It has to be one of those two things. If it's not either of those two things, then it's gone. And so it has to be that, and it just has to be me. Like it has to be something that I truly believe in. Even with my partnerships, I don't partner with any company or product or service that I don't personally use.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you choose your aligned
Yeah, if I don't
opportunities
personally
and
use it,
things.
yeah, and I again, I speak from a position of privilege because again, I have a full-time job with a full salary, so like I'm very lucky that I have the ability to pick and choose. But for me personally, if I don't personally benefit from that product, why should I expect any of my audience to? Not saying that it wouldn't benefit other people, but like if I have to talk about it and vouch for it and put it out there to my audience who trusts me. I'm only going to put out stuff out there that I personally use or have benefited from.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. There's a
Hmm.
ton of opportunities, but not all of them are going to be aligned.
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, at
Hmm.
the end of the day, you're the one that's got to kind of sleep in the bed you make and feel good about
Absolutely.
those
Absolutely.
things.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and you had background in like marketing and content
Yeah.
creation and things prior to like
Hmm.
creating your own channels, correct?
I still do. Yeah, that's what I do for a living. So I'm the senior paid media strategist for a marketing firm in Philadelphia. And so like I have some really big clients that people probably don't realize that like the stuff that they see online is stuff that my team has created. And I've been doing that for about 20 years. So like that knowledge has 100% come in handy for my own personal platform that like I'm just again I'm very lucky to have that opportunity and that kind of data in order to make the decisions and to curate content on my own end
Yeah. Do you do anything with like paid advertisement with your
all the time.
channels? Yeah.
All
Okay.
the time, yeah. So like particularly, and this again goes back to what I was saying about creating your own like resource stream.
Yeah.
I have a passive income that comes in from my ebooks, right?
Hmm.
It's very rare that you'll even hear me talk about my ebooks on any of my content at all. It's very rare. In fact, I dare somebody to find something that I have posted organically about it. The only time that people know about my ebooks is through the ads, right?
Do you use like
So
retargeting ads or how do
oh,
you
yeah.
do
So
that?
like I have in a lot of my campaigns because I have web courses as well that I sell.
Cool.
So the only time people will see that is in the ads. So there's two different types of audiences that I have in there. You have a prospecting audience. So those are people that probably have no idea who I am, have never heard of me, but it's like, hi, I'm Kai. It's nice to meet
Yeah.
you. I talk about ADHD. I have that audience, and then I have a retargeting audience, which are the people that do know who I am
Yeah.
and are probably more likely to buy one of my books simply because they just know who I am. So the message that they receive is different than the message that a prospective audience will receive
Yeah.
because there's two different audiences there. So yeah, it's both prospective and retargeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. How do you decide what kind of products and things do you want to do? Do you enjoy writing?
I love writing. I've always been a writer. Like back in 2018 when I started to talk about my recovery both mentally and physically, it was mainly through blogging. So like I love writing. It's my favorite thing to do. So like I put out a new blog. It used to be 2 to 3 a week, but now it's down to one because of the stuff that I have to do. But
Yeah.
I put out a new blog every single week, and sometimes there's going to be something that I'm really passionate about, and I'll write an entire ebook based on that. So like the one I'm working on now is ADHD in the workplace. That's the big one.
Cool. Is there
hmm
anything that informs your decision to choose a topic or a product and create it?
I think it's just how passionately I feel about it and whether I think it would be beneficial for my audience. And like everything that I write, I always preface it by saying that I am not a mental health professional. I'm just a person that is on this journey. And
Yeah.
so like the whole point of these products is just to hopefully point people in the right direction to get the help that they need or to at least validate their experiences. So that's the way that I go about writing the stuff that I write.
And what do you think people with ADHD in the workplace want to know or are going to learn about from your next book?
Productivity, because the issue that a lot of people have isn't necessarily like the speed of work getting done or anything
Mhm.
like that. It's sometimes it's just simply task initiation. That's where we struggle a lot in the workplace. So
Yeah.
you'll learn a lot about task initiation. You'll learn about how to structure your day. And you'll also learn about just how to set yourself up for success for the day. Because like even having like a cluttered desk can ruin everything for an ADHDer. So like just kind of setting yourself up for success so you do have a good productive day.
Yeah. The environment's super
hmm
important. And is this
Yes.
going to be mainly for people with ADHD or also for people that want to
Ooh,
understand people with ADHD in the workplace
great
better?
question. It's fun. It's really funny you asked that because my original guidebooks were specifically for people with ADHD, but I'm for the way that I'm writing this, it's geared towards people for with ADHD. However, I'm writing it in a way that even people that do not have ADHD or might know somebody with ADHD, they can benefit from the information within it as well
So fun.
because of the way that's written.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
hmm
Thank you so much for letting me pick your brain
Yeah.
about
Oh
all of
my
these
God. Yes.
random things. We went all over the place today and I loved it all. Where can people find you or any of these awesome books that are hiding in places where people don't often hear about them or anything else that you're offering right now?
Yeah, everything is going to be on my website, thevibewithkai.com. You go there, you'll find my blog, you'll find my podcast, you'll find my digital store where all the ebooks and courses and audiobooks, all that stuff will be there. And you'll also like if you ever want to just like know what's going on in my life with like the various things that I do outside of content creation, that'll be there as well. And then I'm at the Vibe with Kai on every single platform, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. Just type in the Vibe with Kai and I'll be there.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Because
Yeah.
you're also big into like acting and stage performance, are you not?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of
What's
a show right
on?
now.
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, I'm playing the character of Bobby in the musical Company at the Ritz Theater Company. And so, in the middle of that, I'm in the middle of casting a show. I'm casting the musical A Bronx Tale, which opens up in April of this year at the Broadway Theater of Pittman. So, yeah,
That's amazing.
busy, but I'm
I
happy. Yeah.
always loved acting and singing and
Yeah.
all of that growing up. I don't really have a great
Yeah.
outlet for it right now, but I live
We got to
vicariously
fix
through
that.
people
We got to
like
fix
you.
that.
Yes, I would love to. I'd actually love to get back into it now that my kids are getting a little older. I'll have to look around for some little
Yeah.
theater opportunities or something.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, the us Geminis like to
Oh
perform.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. For sure. For sure. I'm so happy with that we're birthday twins. That makes me so happy.
It's
You're
crazy.
the third person I've met in 6 months that shares a birthday with me. It's so
Really?
surreal and odd, but I love it. I'm like, yes, the universe is connecting us for a reason. I don't know what that
That's so
reason is
cool.
yet, but like I think maybe we're gonna have the May 26th Avengers, like
Yes. Superpowers unite.
yes.
ADHD superpowers unite. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Well, guys, go follow Kai if you're not already. He's at The Vibe with Kai. Check out his awesome podcast. Like he said, I was on there about a month ago.
Yeah.
We did a really cool round of EFT tapping too for any of
Yes.
you looking for that because I know he was having some procrastination issues getting off his couch to do
Yeah.
laundry. And I think a
Yes.
lot of people can relate to that,
Oh
myself
yeah.
included.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank goodness for my husband who folds it 90% of time. Otherwise, Laundry Mountain would be quite insurmountable
I
in my
know it all
house.
so well. I know
Oh
it
my
all too well.
gosh. And if this episode sparked something for any of you listening, maybe you're feeling a little less alone with your ADHD, a little bit more curious about creating content in a way that works for your nervous system, please share the episode with a friend, tag us in your stories, and leave a review so that people can find it. I know there's so many choices we all have when it comes to the podcast that we listen to. So thank you for listening to Becoming More Me, and thank you for being my guest today, Ky.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for spending some of your precious time with me today. If you loved this episode, please leave a review or simply share it with someone else who would get great benefit from it too. If you share on social media, please tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. And if your inner critic is still trying to argue with those facts, hit me up. We've got work to do.